Hi everyone. I will give you some information about the Second Amendment of the Bill of Rights. The Bill of Rights consists of the first 10 amendments of the Constitution. James Madison included these amendments into the Constitution to limit or control central government powers. The Bill of Rights was influenced by the Virginia Declaration of Rights that was written by George Mason. These amendments became very important and essential in the construction of early American government. One amendment that has become an increase in spotlight is the Second Amendment. This amendment states, a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. This amendment has had considerable amount of debate throughout American history. There are several purposes of the Second Amendment, one being the right to protect an individual's own property or one's own self-harm from harm. But the founders' main purpose of this amendment was to enable citizens to be part of a militia that would overtake the nation's military if it ever becomes corrupt. James Madison didn't want America's military to become too powerful and limit the civilians' ability to protect themselves. There are several complications and challenges of the Second Amendment, one being that most individuals only understand this amendment gives the right to bear arms or own a gun and be able to protect themselves from harm and they don't know the second part of the amendment, which is to protect from a nation's militia. Most individuals aren't aware of the second part of the amendment because civilians never had to protect themselves from the nation's military in American history, thus making it easy to forget this part of the amendment. There are numerous court cases involving the Second Amendment. One in particular occurred in 2008 and was named the District of Columbia versus Dick Anthony Heller. Heller was an officer that requested to keep his police firearm at home for protection. The court favored Heller because of the Second Amendment and had the right to bear arms. The court case did limit or put some restrictions on the Second Amendment. For instance, felons weren't allowed to carry or own a firearm, and civilian firearms are banned in schools and government buildings. The Second Amendment applies to modern society by giving individuals the right to protect one's property and themselves from harm. Most individuals believe the Second Amendment was designed for civilians to carry firearms for their protection, but it was also designed to protect civilians from the empowerment of a strong central militia. If it ever became corrupt, throughout American history, the Second Amendment has become very debatable and is being challenged more so than ever before in numerous court cases. Even though these amendments were created over 200 years ago, they still construct the basics of America as a country. So even though the Second Amendment is only one of 10 amendments, it has become very important in the American construction of as an independent country. Thank you, and that's it.